Howdy y'all, it's me, I'm back. Today I'm coming to you with what will be part 1 of my CD collection. I decided I'm definitely going to need to split this up into several parts because I have a decent sized collection, I'd say, and I know I'm going to have something to say about most of them. I went ahead and took the liberty of setting aside a few to begin with. Today I think we're going to be focusing on, the very beginning. The early years, so a lot of teen pop, a lot of Disney, unfortunately. Seemingly, I never got rid of any physical media I ever bought, so it's all right here. So starting off with what I guess I have to call the first CD I ever got. It doesn't quite feel right to call it that because I had an endless amount of burned CDs that I started out with. If you grew up with not a lot of money, you had burned CDs. You did not walk into the store, walk into Target, and just buy them all willy-nilly. My first CD, when I was a youngster, I remember being in Walmart with my dad and saying, "Dad, can I get this CD?" And he had no idea what it was, so he called my mom on a payphone to ask what it was and if it was okay for me to have it, or if it was too I don't know, risque of an item, but that would be very, very well worn and well loved. It's High School Musical soundtrack. Now, the case is broken. It's shattered. I probably played this CD I don't know how many times. Man, oh man, this CD, this movie really was my identity for at least 2 years. When I was in elementary school, I made it my life. I made it my everything. It was very strange that any of this happened to me because I am not a musical person. This is not my theme, my vibe at all. I really don't think that it is. Really things of this nature, Mary Poppins, Pitch Perfect, Glee, I could not hate those things more, especially Pitch Perfect, my God. So I'm not a theater kid, I'm not a drama kid, but somehow this just connected to me. I mean, it was extremely popular at the time, but still, yeah. I've seen the movie, it could be 200 times. It could be. I'm not joking. I counted to 100 because that was just some fun thing I had with my friends that I watched it every day for a while. And then, of course, I've got High School Musical too. This one was a pretty decent follow-up. The music was not as iconic, but still, for this being itself, it was pretty decent, I'd say. I'm surprised. I don't know how or why I don't seem to have the disc for the third movie, which maybe I lied and I did get rid of it. I really thought I have it, but it's just not here, so I don't know. I actually bought these somewhat in recent years. If you ever turn on the Disney Channel, you saw A-Teens, an ABBA cover band. So I have the ABBA generation and just self-titled. How fun, they were on all the commercials and in all the Disney Channel movies. So then somehow only have one disc of beloved Hilary Duff. It's Metamorphosis. If there's one of the characters I identify most with is Lizzie McGuire. I literally am Lizzie McGuire. That's me. I feel sort of bad. I'm like self-doxing myself in all the uncool things that I've ever liked and still like. Of course, since I was a High School Musical girly, got very early on, right when it came out, is Ashlee Tisdale's first album. It's called Headstrong. Tons of pop bops on this one. It was just so great. I have many distinct memories of sitting on my floor every day after school, playing on my Game Boy Advance, playing Pokemon Sapphire, and putting this in my CD player. So this was a lot of fun, good for kids. I also have her follow-up album, Guilty Pleasure, which this one is just typical of a lot of the stuff Hollywood Records ever put out, in that it's like it's not good. It's definitely, it's like cringe, but once you get over the cringe factor, it's like, oh wait, this is very listenable. This is very enjoyable. As far as like, it's teen pop. They're not good, but I like them. Ashlee Tisdale, so underrated. She deserved more, definitely. Couple Goodwill pickups in recent times. Kelly Clarkson debut, Thankful, and Breakaway, iconic album. I think I got this at the library for $1 not too long ago. You had to have Avril, so I have Under My Skin. Don't know why I don't have her first album, but this is just a treasure. I'm just gonna try to get all of this out of the way and do everything Disney. Well, first I have Selena Gomez and The Scene, when she was still with The Scene, When the Sun Goes Down, and then her first solo when she dropped The Scene. I have Stars Dance, and man, Selena really wins the award of some of the worst music ever put out. These are somewhat decent compared to her third album, whatever that's called. I remember listening to that and like literally laughing out loud at how bad it was. But these are pretty fun. Someone with no skips, at least their first few albums, is our girl Demi Lovato, self-titled. Love her. I can't say she has no skips, but this, what a pop punk queen. We never have deserved her. And then, you know, we can't have just the girls. We also have to have the boy band selection. But thankfully, I'm out here to say I've only ever really listened to one boy band in the 2010s era, and that would be the Jonas Brothers. So their second album, self-titled, I have 2 copies of because I got it on eBay in recent years, not realizing I already had it. So if anyone wants this is just going to be one of many duplicates, unfortunately, I'm going to tell you that I have. So there's that. Have a little bit longer, which, oh boy, do I remember the lead up to this being released. This was like everyone's world at the time. A little underrated in my opinion. I feel like it's still held up. Is Lines, Vines, and Trying Times. A good one. But then, unfortunately, as we all know, they disappeared until 10 years later when they came back with Happiness Begins, which, in my opinion, since they've returned, this has easily been their best release. Their 2 most recent albums past this, not as good. I feel like any little sense of self that they had is like being erased more and more over time, and it's just like, who are these guys? They're just writing with anyone and they're becoming anyone. Like, I feel like they, whatever their identity was, I know they're older and it's like more mature and that's fine, but like this I felt was the most Jonas Brothers album we've gotten in recent times. I think the final Disney adjacent album I have is just a random Aly and AJ EP, 10 Years. I don't know why I don't have their first few albums on CD. I certainly enjoyed them. I found this in FYE for either $1 or less, so that's kind of why I have it, but they're great. Randomly in the pile is The Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani, her first album. Arguably the better pick, but this is all Goodwill had. One MySpace band I enjoyed in my youth a lot was sister duo Meg and Dia. I'm sure a lot of you have heard the song Monster on TikTok remixed. I think that was a thing that happened a few years ago, but I was a true fan from pretty early on, I'd say. So much so that by the time this album came out, I couldn't really listen to it so much because I was more used to hearing the versions of the songs that were on at least one EP they had put out prior, or just like some demo of it. So it's like I heard this and I was like, it was slightly changed, you know, the new version. So it's like, it's still great though. So I have that. Here we are with another duplicate of just the EP of theirs. if you're poor, find something to sue somebody for. This just happens to me when I buy the CD and then I buy a piece of merch and the artist is nice enough to just throw in a CD, but I already have it. So if anyone wants a copy, probably had this since '07 and it's still in the package. Their second album, have many memories of listening to this on the bus home from school, is Here, Here, and Here. Great, beautiful, lovely album. It's Always Stormy and Tilamook. Then I had to just run in my living room I have a pile of CDs in there in my hipster autumnal selection of living room CDs. The CD before they took a break for a while is Cocoon, which fortunately, for whatever reason, not on streaming services. And then I'm gonna wrap things up here with another one of my fave iconic idols. It's Ashlee Simpson. Yeah, that's right. Iconic, incredible, 3-album run pop albums. Autobiography, I Am Me, and of course Bittersweet World, which this criminally underrated. By the time she was on her 3rd album, people had completely checked out once the you know what drama was over. It's like it's bad, but it's good. But it's like you know it's bad, but you love it. And Bittersweet World, really, man. Where was everyone for this? And how come no one appreciated this? I don't know. This was very cool. I mean, will she ever drop a 4th album? I think she's around now, but I'm hopeful. So that's it for now. I'm sure that's a good at least 10% of my collection. I'll be back with part 2 next time, someday. And, you know, that might be a better representation of myself, I think, because so far it's just been the collection of CDs of a 12-year-old, and I'm not 12. So, thanks for watching.